Without objection.
Thank you, Madam
Ladies
Speaker.
recognized.
And I rise tonight to honor the accomplishments and the ongoing work of one of South Florida's finest residents, Mr. Robert J. Bob Jenson of Homestead. Bob and his wonderful wife, Mita, are well known for their caring and giving personalities and for their selfless work on behalf of our community. Mita tells us that Bob's history began in a small town in Iowa where he was born and raised. He left Iowa in 1954 to serve in our U.S. Navy. He enlisted, excelled, and made chief in 7 years. 3 years later, Bob was selected for Officers Candidate School and was commissioned. Commander Bob Jenson's specialty in the Navy was cryptology. I happen to know that his work is still classified, so please don't ask Bob. He still can't tell you about it. The last place that Bob was stationed was our dear Homestead, Florida. And after 28 years in the United States Navy, Bob retired and chose to stay in Homestead with his wife, Mita, and family, Russell, Robert, Christian, and Jessica. The Jensons now have lots of beautiful grandchildren. In 1983, First National Bank's president, Bill Losner, asked Bob to join the bank. Bill Losner knew Bob Jenson well. He picked out a career that perfectly suited Bob and that helped First National Bank excel in community outreach and marketing. As vice president, Bob Jenson invested the bank's resources and began investing all his time to touch and nurture groups, organizations, and projects throughout Miami-Dade County. Everyone has told us, out of all of his volunteer and community work, Bob is proudest of his efforts to create better farm workforce housing. Bob is also the former chair and commissioner with Homestead Housing and has served on the board of Centro Campesino. This outfit trains farm workers for better jobs, mostly in construction, and helps enable farm workers to build and purchase their own homes. These are wonderful legacies for Bob, his fellow board members, and those farm workers who have achieved the American dream of home ownership. Did I mention that Bob and Mita's work with the Pioneer Museum? Well, almost every Saturday of the year, the Jensons and their trained Dawsons give historical tours about our area at a restored railroad station house on Chrome Avenue. He has also collected hundreds of historical photographs on display at local shops, hotels, and other businesses in the Homestead area. Bob is also a member of the Agri Council, which educates South Floridians and visitors on the history of the agricultural sector of South Florida. Bob serves on the Military Affairs Committee of the Homestead and Florida City Chamber of Commerce, helping our active duty, reserve, and retired military personnel. And just 5 years ago, Bob created the Heritage Hall Museum at Homestead Air Reserve Base to record its history. He's called Mr. Homestead, a term of affection from a grateful community. Indeed, Bob Jenson is a man about town. He's helping save the meal program that provides breakfast and lunch to the vast majority of school children at Laura Saunders Elementary. He's received numerous awards and honors: Leadership Southdale's Leader of the Year, the Presidential Award from the Homestead Chamber, honors from the Boy Scouts of America, the Mexican American Council, the American Red Cross, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and the Miami-Dade Legislative Delegation. Bob Jenson is a historian, a volunteer, a mentor, a leader, and a friend to all whom he touches. God has blessed our nation and our community with a great man, Bob Jenson. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I yield back the balance of our time.
The gentlewoman yields back the balance of her